my tissue. Oh, that was that was fun. That was fun. Alrighty. Okay, so today here. First of all, to make sure. Okay, yeah, all the destinations are popped up. Okay. Awesome. Okay. All right. I'm going to talk about. I've never heard of this case before, and then I started to do some research on it, and I've had it interesting, so I kind of just wanted to share it with you guys and see what you guys think about it. So, Tonita Michelle Brooks. So she last contacted her. So she is a little bit more older than I normally talk about. I believe she is. I know I have her age in here. Okay, so she is what you call like a free spirit. She also actually so she was 45 years old the last time that she was like had any contact with her family. About 120, hair black, eyes brown. And she is more, they said, more of a free spirit. She frequently would be homeless a lot, but she always had a phone and would contact her family. So she always reached out. But her brother would say that she was more of a child or a teenager as a mindset. So, which I think is very important to think about when I'm talking about her. So she here, and so she was actually like last contacted. So she last contacted a family member here on August 26th, 2019. And she let her family know, like, hey, I'm doing good. Like, this is what she normally did. She normally at least contacted once a week, maybe twice a week. Even though she was homeless, she had a phone and she always got in touch with her family. On September 23rd, 2019, she was also seen. So she was in a county building downtown in Durham, North Carolina. So a family member ended up filing a missing persons report on October 25th, 2019. So over a month since anyone has actually physically seen her. So they said that they did not hear from her for 2 months. So they didn't hear from her since August. And she usually checked in every week. Like I said, just to make sure. And again, like she was a lot of the time homeless, and she was known to by the police community. So because they checked up on the homeless all the time. So the fact, like, the police should have seen her if something were to have happened to her. So, and the homeless shelter that she normally stayed at, she would stay there, but then she would also stay at like various homes. Again, though, she always kept in touch with her family and her children on a regular basis. She was also often seen walking on Hollywood Street. And Tony's family actually describes her again as this free spirit, sweetheart. She'll meet you and you'll think that you've known her forever. She acts like you're her best friend right up front. And so her brother began searching for her around the surrounding areas around Holloway Street, where she like would frequently walk. And this is between the North Alston Avenue and Rayon Street. But no one recalls actually seeing her since in September. So again, her brother, Michael Brooks, describes his sister as having a mind of a preteen, childlike, trusting. Um, so saying that, she would recognize danger, but she wouldn't know how close she was actually to being hurt. And she still had that I'm afraid to say no mentality about her. And her other sibling, Lewis Brooks, thinks that his sister has been harmed because she said if she was around and she knew we were looking for her, she wouldn't have done this and put us through this. And she's always kept in contact, even though she's been homeless a lot. So she has a distinct crippling on her left hand. She has a limp on her left leg and a scar on the front of her stomach. One of her twin daughters, Mary Brooks, was just in tears when talking about her mom, saying, I love her, I want to see where she's at. I just want to hear from her. And no matter where Tonita was, she always called her grandmother daily. So even though sometimes her other family members wouldn't hear from her, since once a week, she would always, always, always contact her grandmother. But she hadn't been for a little bit. And then her grandma passed away suddenly. And she wasn't there for the funeral, which is very unlike her, especially since she's been talking to her grandma every single day, even when she's homeless. And then all of a sudden, her grandma passes away and she doesn't even attend the funeral? That seems very, very off. So some of the police would actually say I would see her myself when I was going to work. I normally traveled across Liberty Street and I would see her and I'd talk to her. And so the fact that she hasn't been seen by them, by the police, her family, and then she hasn't even contacted her grandma before she died or gone to her funeral is a big red flag. So one of her brothers, Lewis, said, my grandma said that she used to talk to Tonita all the time before she passed. She worried about her because she was missing those phone calls all of a sudden before she died. It was not at Long Meadow Park. So if she wasn't there at Long Meadow Park just visiting with friends, she would have been in the downtown area. In fact, that's the last place that she was seen in September of 2019. After 2 months of hoping that she'd just come forward and, talk to her family or something, her family filed that missing persons report. And nobody has a clue. And there are terrible rumors being spread around. And there's no evidence, though, to back any of these up. There were some rumors at the park when they were interviewing people. People said that she was found dead. None of that is true as of right now. She's still a missing person. There's no evidence to say that she is dead. And her family is just really, really worried about her. And I would have to agree with her brother and say that this does sound like something that is foul play. And if any of you know anything about where she could be, who she might have been with, if you think you've seen her, I'll go ahead, I'll post everything, including all the photos and everything we have on the website. I will link it. I'll even put it in the live here. Okay. So I'll link that. You guys can check that out, see if you notice her. And if you do, feel free to contact the police department on her behalf, because her family is just looking for answers right now. And that's what I like to do, is try to get the word out here. As always, thank you so much for listening. You can find us at crimetheoriespodcast@gmail.com, crimetheoriespodcast.com. We have a Patreon /crimetheoriespod, where we do fun new episodes. I'm going to try to get like one out. We're right now once a month, but I'm going to try to see if I can get them out once a week and get more supporters. If you guys enjoyed this, please feel free to rate us. You can rate us on Apple and now Spotify. And if you're watching this, feel free to like it, subscribe on YouTube. And as always, guys, just keep fucking going.